Imagine standing next to a machine so powerful that when it moves, the ground trembles like a small earthquake. That's no exaggeration. We're talking about a bulldozer that weighs more than 1 million pounds. This isn't something you'd find at your local construction site. This is the Komatsu D575A3 Super Dozer, a Japanese-built giant that's so big, it makes regular bulldozers look like toy trucks. Its blade alone stretches over 24 feet wide, and it stands 2 stories tall. But here's the kicker. It has a staggering horsepower of 1,150. When it revs up, it can push over 100 tons of earth like it's a pile of sand. People say that when it first operated in the coalfields, it actually cracked the surface asphalt of a nearby road from sheer vibration. And just wait until you hear what happened when one operator lost control of it on a slope. That's coming up in the next chapter. In the frozen wilderness of Canada, a monster wakes up each winter. Meet the Trexco Tundra Dozer, an experimental cold-resistant beast designed to operate in temperatures below 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Most machines freeze up, choke, or shut down in that kind of cold, but not this one. Engineers equipped it with a reinforced heating core, 12-foot-wide tracks, and an engine that produces 1,200 horsepower. It doesn't just plow snow, it devours it. Locals say it once carved a full highway path through 20-foot deep snowdrifts in under an hour. But what makes it really terrifying is its unmanned mode. It can run completely on remote AI systems. That means no driver inside, just a silent crawler chewing up ice like a robot out of a sci-fi movie. But there's another bulldozer out there with something even more insane. A blade so large, it once blocked an entire freeway. If you lined up a full-size school bus, it still wouldn't match the width of the blade on the ACCO Super Bulldozer. This Italian-made legend is one of the largest bulldozers ever constructed. The blade? Just over 27 feet wide. The total length? A jaw-dropping 40 feet. And it wasn't just big. It had not one, but 2 engines, each with over 700 horsepower, giving it a combined total of 1,400 horses of raw power. But here's the wild part. It was never used. Built in the 1980s for a massive land reclamation project in Libya, it was stopped by international sanctions and left to rust. Today, it sits as a ghost giant in a dusty field, with a blade that still casts a shadow big enough to cover an entire car dealership. But if you think that's wasted potential, wait until you hear about a bulldozer that was specifically built to crush rock and eat through entire mountains. Deep in the mining zones of Utah, there's a bulldozer that doesn't just push dirt. It eats into stone like it's made of paper. The Caterpillar D11, a name whispered with respect in every serious mining operation. It weighs over 230 pounds. That's more than 30 elephants. Its engine, a fierce 1,015 horsepower monster, backed by hydraulic systems that can snap through solid rock. Operators say that when this machine pushes into a mountainside, you don't hear the rumble, you feel it in your chest. Its ripper attachment can slice through bedrock like a knife through cheese, turning entire hilltops into dust and gravel. And it's not even the most powerful bulldozer Caterpillar ever dreamed of building. There's a top-secret prototype that went rogue in a test field, and that's what we'll dive into next. They called it the Phantom, an experimental military-grade bulldozer with armor plating, remote control access, and enough torque to flip over a bus. It was part of a classified test by a defense contractor trying to merge tank-grade armor with earth-moving capability. One day, during a field test in Nevada, the controls glitched. The machine started moving without command input. At over 10 miles per hour, that might not sound fast, until you realize it was plowing through reinforced barricades like wet paper. It tore down 2 guard towers and flattened several containers before engineers managed to cut its power. No one was hurt, but the bulldozer left behind a trail of destruction that stunned everyone. Since then, it's been locked away, officially shelved, but some engineers still whisper about its capabilities, and they say its strength might be unmatched by anything else, except one specific bulldozer that literally broke the scale during testing. What do you get when you combine military engineering with mining-grade power? The answer is the Li-Torno L2350. Yes, technically it's classified as a wheel loader, but with a frame that stretches over 60 feet long and a lifting payload of over 400,000 pounds, it easily stomps over the line into bulldozer territory. It holds the Guinness record for the largest earth-moving machine on rubber tires. But forget records. This thing has a bucket that could swallow a pickup truck whole. It uses a 2,500 horsepower diesel-electric hybrid engine and its tires alone stand over twice the height of an average man. During testing, it moved over 200 tons of rock in under 60 seconds. They say if it ran over a 2-story house, it wouldn't even flinch. But as massive as this beast is, there's a bulldozer hidden in Japan that might actually outmuscle it, and hardly anyone outside the country knows it exists. Buried deep inside the industrial yards of Japan lies a machine so powerful, so rarely seen, that some call it the country's mechanical dragon. It's a modified version of the Komatsu D575A, custom built for high-intensity strip mining in remote zones. Unlike the public versions, this variant was rumored to feature a blade nearly 30 feet wide, extra armor, and a backup battery system so it could keep running even if its primary engine failed. With power output reaching close to 1,200 horsepower, it was said to clear entire valleys in days. Workers reportedly had to stand at least 30 feet away when it started up due to heat radiation and vibration levels. The only known photo was quickly taken down online after it was leaked, and Komatsu refuses to comment on it. But if that's not wild enough for you, wait until you hear about a bulldozer that was literally banned in multiple countries because of how dangerous it was. Yes, the Komatsu D575A2 Superdozer is impressive, massive, powerful, iconic. But in some places, it's simply too much. This machine, weighing over 150,000 pounds, was so destructive in early field tests that local infrastructure couldn't handle it. Roads cracked, bridges buckled under its weight, and some construction sites reported structural disruption just from its idle vibrations. That led to quiet bans in several European regions. One mining operation in Germany tried to use it and had to scrap the project after less than a month due to constant complaints about structural tremors in surrounding buildings. And when it pushed soil near a floodplain in Romania, it caused a minor landslide. It's not just a machine, it's a force of nature. But just when you think things can't get crazier, we look east, toward a Soviet-era bulldozer so obscure you won't find it in most history books. Back in the 1970s, during the peak of Cold War engineering, the Soviet Union developed a top-secret dozer known only as the KV-6 Earthbreaker. This machine was designed to rapidly build military bases in hostile terrain. It reportedly weighed over 200,000 pounds and had a reinforced steel hull strong enough to survive artillery blasts. Its most terrifying feature? A massive rear-mounted turbine that could shoot hot exhaust flames to burn through ice, snow, or even enemy barricades. There's no official blueprint available, and only a few grainy photos have survived. Former engineers claim that just turning this thing on would rattle nearby trucks off the ground. It was reportedly decommissioned after being deemed too aggressive for peaceful use. But now, in modern times, companies are turning toward the future, building dozers with AI, automation, and design straight out of science fiction. You think bulldozers are stuck in the past? Think again. Right now, engineers at companies like Caterpillar, Komatsu, and even Tesla's offshoot divisions are developing next-gen bulldozers that may never need a human driver again. These machines are equipped with LiDAR scanners, GPS-guided blades, and AI systems that adjust blade pressure in real time. Some prototypes even include magnetically stabilized treads that can move over unstable ground without sinking. In one closed-door test in Arizona, an autonomous dozer cleared 10 acres of rocky terrain in less than 20 minutes, with zero human intervention. These machines don't sleep, don't blink, and don't stop for coffee. And one particular prototype being tested in Texas might be the most advanced of all, because it hides something no other bulldozer ever had before: a nuclear-powered core. Most people look at a bulldozer blade and think metal, but the blade on some of today's record-breaking machines is more like a high-tech battering ram. The Caterpillar D11T, for example, features a blade that stretches over 16 feet and weighs nearly 15,000 pounds by itself. But here's the real shocker. Inside that blade, engineers have packed it with vibration-dampening chambers, pressurized cores, and a composite edge made of tungsten carbide, one of the hardest materials on Earth. Why? Because these blades don't just push dirt, they slam into boulders, reinforced concrete, and frozen terrain at full throttle. One mining company even embedded motion sensors and pressure maps into the blade to monitor how close they were to crushing buried utility lines. These things are smart, violent, and brutally efficient. But what really gives them their scary power is what's hiding behind the blade. A hydraulic system so strong it could tear steel apart like tissue paper. Hydraulics are the muscle behind every bulldozer. And in today's top-tier machines, they're operating on pressure levels so extreme they could rip a steel door in half like it was cardboard. The systems inside the Liebherr PR776, for instance, pump with over 7,000 psi of force, enough to lift a tank straight off the ground. But it's not just raw power. These hydraulics are designed with precision so sharp they can control blade tilt within a margin of less than 1 inch, even when pushing thousands of pounds of material. One operator shared a story about how his dozer accidentally snagged a steel guardrail buried in debris and snapped it clean in two without even slowing down. Engineers have even tested hybrid electro-hydraulic systems that can shift full blade direction in under half a second. But if you think that's futuristic, just wait, because up next is a bulldozer concept powered by something straight out of a sci-fi movie, a nuclear core. Sounds insane, right? But it's not entirely fiction. Deep inside experimental labs, military engineers have toyed with the idea of nuclear-powered bulldozers for decades. The idea? A dozer that never needs refueling, never slows down, and can power entire forward bases with excess energy. One of the earliest versions was reportedly designed during the Cold War under the name Project Pluto, but the risks were sky-high. Imagine a 100-ton bulldozer powered by an active reactor. Any mistake could level a city block. Still, rumors persist about a compact thorium-powered model being tested on private land in Nevada. Its engine, if real, would provide decades of power without needing a single gallon of diesel. While nothing's confirmed, multiple satellite images show heavy earth-moving equipment near classified energy testing zones. But don't worry, there's something even wilder. A fully electric super dozer built in America that's rewriting the rules of raw machine power. Born in the USA and built like a war machine, the latest Caterpillar D11XE is the biggest electric drive dozer in the world. And it doesn't just look mean, it is mean. This beast weighs over 250,000 pounds and has a diesel-electric hybrid drive system that delivers constant, relentless torque. That means no gear shifts, no engine lag, just pure pushing power. Operators say it feels like driving a building on wheels. It's designed to tear through mine walls, shift entire hillsides, and run for over 20 hours without stopping. What's even crazier? It's quieter than older diesel models. That makes it perfect for massive operations in populated areas where noise matters. But even with all that power, it's not the scariest thing out there, because there are machines designed not just to build or mine, but to wipe entire city blocks clean in under an hour. Most bulldozers are built for jobs like digging foundations or clearing roads. But there's another category, the kind used in full-blown demolition. We're talking about bulldozers fitted with crushing claws, clawed blades, and rippers that look like something out of a nightmare. These machines are used after natural disasters, in war zones, and even for illegal demolition jobs. Some demolition contractors in the Middle East have used armored bulldozers to flatten buildings down to their foundations in under 60 minutes. One Israeli Defense Forces model, a modified Caterpillar D9R, is fully bulletproof, weighs nearly 130 tons, and can take down reinforced concrete bunkers without breaking a sweat. In one operation, it was used to clear 40 buildings in a single day. But the future is getting even weirder, because one of the next-gen bulldozers doesn't even use wheels or treads. It walks. Yes, you read that right, a walking bulldozer. It sounds like something out of a video game, but it's real. Engineers at a European robotics firm recently revealed a prototype machine nicknamed the Spider. Instead of wheels or treads, this thing walks on 4 hydraulic legs, using pressure sensors and gyroscopes to maintain perfect balance. It can climb steep inclines, step over obstacles, and even pivot in place without tearing up the ground. Why? Because some terrains, like jungles, marshes, or mountainsides, are nearly impossible for traditional dozers to navigate. And here's the kicker. It can be controlled remotely or programmed to follow terrain scans, making it fully autonomous. In one demo, it walked across a pile of jagged concrete rubble without breaking a single hydraulic line. But that's just one example of what's coming. The newest generation of bulldozers is taking inspiration from tanks, animals, and even alien designs. Some bulldozers are no longer built like machines. They're built like monsters. Take the Chinese Type 89 armored engineering vehicle. It's basically a tank turned into a bulldozer, with explosive launchers, mine rollers, and a reinforced blade that can crash through barricades and push burning debris without flinching. It's used in military rescue missions and disaster zones. But that's not the only one. In the US, modified versions of the M1 Abrams chassis have been turned into armored dozers capable of flattening clearing everything in their path while withstanding incoming fire. These machines are designed to keep moving no matter what. Mud, fire, enemy bullets, nothing stops them, and the technology is now bleeding into civilian design. One prototype dozer being developed in South Korea has retractable armor plating and a drone launching bay. But even these unstoppable machines are starting to hand over the controls to something that doesn't eat, sleep, or blink. Forget the steering wheel. The bulldozers of tomorrow are thinking for themselves. Companies like Built Robotics, Komatsu, and even Google-backed startups are working on AI systems that can handle excavation, grading, and site prep entirely on their own. These machines scan the terrain, make decisions, and execute perfect blade movements with surgical precision. One test in California involved a fully autonomous bulldozer operating for 3 straight weeks. No humans, no brakes, and no errors. AI doesn't get tired. It doesn't make mistakes. It can work day and night, rain or shine, without asking for overtime. But here's where things get strange. Some of these systems are now using predictive behavior modeling to guess how terrain will shift under pressure. That means they're learning to bulldoze better than humans ever could. But before you get excited about driving one, you should know the truth. You probably never will. Driving a regular bulldozer already takes training, skill, and nerves of steel. But these extreme machines, you're more likely to see the cockpit of a fighter jet than sit inside one of these beasts. Many of the world's largest bulldozers are either remotely operated or fully autonomous. The few that do require drivers are so powerful and so risky that only elite-level operators ever touch the controls. Insurance costs? Sky high. Training? Years of experience. And in some cases, the machines themselves are off limits due to military secrecy or private sector patents. Even if you somehow got behind the controls, you'd need to know how to handle over 1,000 horsepower, dozens of control systems, and safety protocols that rival those of a nuclear plant. But that's where things are headed, because the future of bulldozing isn't about people pushing dirt. It's about machines evolving into something far more advanced. So where is all this going? The final evolution of bulldozers isn't just about size, strength, or speed. It's about intelligence. Imagine machines that plan construction projects, design terrain routes, and execute everything without human input. Picture fleets of bulldozers working in sync, like an army of insects reshaping the earth in perfect coordination. Some engineers believe we're less than 10 years away from fully self-deploying bulldozers, machines that can drive themselves to a job site, prep the land, and report back without any physical oversight. Others are even developing modular bulldozers that can morph into graders, trenchers, or crushers on demand. What started as a simple dirt-pushing machine is now on the verge of becoming a self-aware builder. One day you might look out your window and see the ground shifting, not by nature's hand, but by a machine that was never supposed to think for itself.